mobilizing second ray. Okay? This is one where I'll let you get away with a little bit of just wiggling, right? Because it's really kind of hard, like, okay, I'm just going to push on this and just so. But think about what I'm going to do. So when I do these, and this isn't like the exact to the biomechanical right way of doing it, but unless you study a lot more about the mechanics of the foot and how each little segment moves, then move on from there. So if you want to get there, go there. Not happening today. So what we're going to do now is we're going to basically stabilize first ray, go to second ray. Now you got to think about, we want to mobilize more proximally, so our hands should be more proximal, right? If I come down here and I mobilize, then I'm mobilizing the distal. We have a proximal and a distal segment. The joints are proximal. There's space down here distally, yes? So where do you think we're going to mobilize mostly? Proximal or distal? Proximal. So I'm going to stabilize first ray, go to second ray. I'm going to plantar and anterior coming up. Okay? The second thing between the second and the third, I'm doing the same thing. So I'm mobilizing just the first, then I can mobilize just the second. I can do the second on the third, mobilize the second, mobilize the third on the second, mobilize the third on the fourth, mobilize the fourth on the third, mobilize the fourth on the fifth, mobilize the fifth on the fourth. Make sense? So even at this joint, I can mobilize the first one and I can mobilize the second, all to treat this joint. Does that make sense? Between the first and second. Sound good? And we have an anterior and a posterior, or a dorsal and a plantar. Okay? So that's kind of like our shuck test that we did before. We should not see a ton of motion here. You might have one area that's a little bit more. If any of these, it's going to be usually the fifth moves quite a bit. Just be mindful that if that joint, if that's a loose joint, that's not a good thing, especially somebody who's had a lot of inversion ankle sprains. Follow me? Yes? So we good with this? Now, the when we walk, remember when we dorsiflex and we start to supinate for heel strike, our foot's rigid. Yes? Yeah. Then as we start to come into weight bearing, we pronate, our foot unlocks. Right? And then it has to become rigid again as we push off. Follow? So which of those phases do you think this is going to have the most effect on? Heel strike? What's it called when I have all my weight on it? Leg stance. And then toe off or push through? Okay? Which one? Stance. That's where the motion needs to occur. The others, it's got to become locked. Yes? Okay. So the other people, the people this tends to help are pes cavus again. Okay? See if that really rigid